Hello, Hag Sameach, happy Passover, happy all the things. It's very exciting. Hello in California, Calabasas people. Happy Passover, Hag Sameach. Somebody hug Paul for me. It's been too long since we've seen each other. Okay. It's been so long. Congregation or me, you probably don't even know. Paul and I went to college together. So much fun. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. I am in the best mood today, I have to say. In the best mood. It is a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. The sun is shining. The weather is lovely. I'm just delighted. I had spent a wonderful morning with my sister, got to go to a networking thing with my sister. It was really fun for here with our county commissioner, who we adore. And we met some really amazing people, and we learned a lot of really important, wonderful things. And it's just been a wonderful, marvelous, beautiful day. So, we are past the full moon. We're technically still in it, but I think it's I look at my watch, but I want to tell you, I think it's going to be a matter of moments before we're no longer in the full moon, and we'll be officially in the waning. And so it's something right now, because this was a big full moon, but it's one of those things that we want to ask ourselves, where can we be more balanced in our life? Where can we be more balanced in our life? And that's something to really think about as we get into anytime we're into the full moon energy, because remember that full moon is, so we talk about the circle, right? The circle of the, hello, darling, hello. Oh my goodness, you just made my whole heart just leap out of my chest. My Stephanie. So we talk about the moon energy as like a Ferris wheel, right? So at the bottom, we get on, we have the new moon, we set our intentions, and we are riding the ride. We go up and we get to the full moon at the top. And the full moon at the top is where we can really stop, take a look around, see what's going on. We got that up periscope thing. And we're looking to see, are we on the path that we have set for ourselves in this full moon, in this moon cycle? Are we following with the intentions that we have set in this moon cycle, right? So we take that look around up at the full moon, and as we get ready for that energy to come back down to the waning in the third quarter and back into the new moon again, we ask ourselves, am I on the right track? What's going on? Where can I be more balanced? What can I do to be more balanced? What can I do to make sure that I'm moving in the direction that was my intention for this cycle? Okay, so we're in the full moon, and as I said, we're probably going to be in it. It's literally, it's like a matter of minutes. I'm going to Google it. Okay, when is full moon over? It's been a very busy day, so I didn't get a chance to. Okay, so it says 1 o'clock was when it started-ish, and so it should be over in, so it's usually about 25, 26 hours. No, that's not right. So we have the full moon, and then it's about 50 hours. So we had that on Saturday, so Sunday, Monday, so by tonight, so we're really like I said, in a matter of minutes. So make sure that before we're out of the full moon energy officially, that you're taking a look around and just be like, am I on track? Am I doing what I wanted to do? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I is this what I meant? Is this what I meant to do? So just ask yourself this question. It's really a good place to start. All right, so then we're going to start with, I do want to bring in the animals today, especially because it's spring. We're seeing a lot of animals. I don't know about you all, but it seems like there's an overabundance of animal videos online that are not just cat videos, but I've been seeing all these exotic animals, people talking about this thing that's like a cross between a dog and a wolf and a raccoon, and just a very interesting thing. So there's a lot of animal energy that's going on right now. So of course that means we're going to start with Kyle Gray's archangels, and then we'll get into the animals. I always like to start with a goddess or an archangel if I can, because I'd really like to know who's looking out for us this week. And we know our angels, our guides, our loved ones in spirit are always, always looking out for us, whether that's our personal guides, our guardian angels, whatever it is. We know they're always, always looking out for us. But I always like to know who's the office manager this week, right? And that's kind of how I look at it with the archangels. Like, who's the office manager this week? So who's really like running the, who's running my back office this week? And so this is going to be Raziel, and this is the inner workings. It says there are hidden truths below the surface, dig a little deeper. And so this reminds us to have discernment, especially as we're coming out of this full moon, which is a time of assessment, where we're coming out of this full moon period. Where we're coming out of this full moon, this is a time of discretion and discernment, where our job is to say, okay, I looked around at the top of the full moon, at the top of the Ferris wheel. I looked around and I saw what's going on. Am I going in the right direction? And what changes do I need to make as this is coming back down to get ready before the next moon cycle goes around? Okay, so this is this time of discernment. This is a time for us to really look a little deeper and say, am I going in the direction I want to be going? Am I doing things and moving myself forward towards my goal, towards the light, towards my family? Am I moving myself forward? So Raziel is saying to us, there's more. Make sure you're stopping to take a look so that you are not missing out on some of those signs and signals that might be around you, saying, hey, did you notice that thing over there? Okay. We want to trust the niggles, right? Trust that little wiggle, that little itch, that little thing that says, oh, what's going on? So I went to this business networking thing today or this morning with my sister for a small business, because it came across my my desk, and I thought, oh, well, I love Nicole, who our commissioner. She's awesome. But is this for me? Is this not for me? And I was like, I really feel like I'm supposed to be there, because there was a niggle, there was a little itch that said, you really need to go there. And this first thing Monday morning, like, I totally could have bailed on it, but nope, I knew I was supposed to be there. And it was just so fun, the things that happened, to see the things that happened while I was there, to be like, of course I was supposed to be there, because of course this thing was going to happen. So when you get those little itches, these little intuitions, little butterflies in your stomach, a little itch on the tip of my nose sometimes, the little thing that just says, you just hear it, it just says, just go. Trust that, right? Trust that. That's especially part of that whole full moon energy, looking a little bit deeper, okay? All right, let's see what's going on with our animal friends. This is the tiger. It says, you are being... Okay, I just can't even. I mean, don't you just love it? I mean, I tell you, every single week, the cards are like little eavesdroppers. I just can't even. This is the Tiger card. It says, you are being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you are capable of doing so. And so this is saying, look inside and see what it is that you are missing. Look a little deeper. What is it that you are missing, right? This goes right in there with Raziel, who says, hey, you got to look a little bit deeper. And wouldn't you want to have a tiger as part of your office management team this week, right? And when I say office, I'm like, it's, like facetious to be like, oh, who's manning my store this week? Which is like my brain, my life. Who are my collaborators that is manning my office this week, right? So it's not my office manager, it's my office managers, right? Who's on my team this week, who's stepping up to say, we have the gifts, we have the skills, we have the things that are going to most bless and benefit Shari and her group this week. This is who we're bringing forward to the front of the table, okay? And so we have Raziel, and then we have this tiger that says, hey, it's time for us to step into leadership, and we want to not be afraid, right? The tiger is not afraid. The tiger is what the king of the beasts with the lion, right? And so this is saying, trust you are capable of doing so. Now, this is really important, because we get into, this is the time of year, it's spring, right? I wanted to bring in the animal energy because it's spring. Everything is bursting and flowering and popping. There's sprouts in my garden. There's flowers. Seed pods are opening. We have blackberries for the first time ever. We've had blackberry plants for years, and they just, I guess, needed to get mature enough to be able to hold the flowers. And we're going to have blackberries this year. My blueberries are popping. They're like going to be twice as big as last, well, they're really like 3-4 times as big as last year, and so many more. Things are happening. Things are bursting forth. okay? And I was so lucky to spend some time on Saturday at a Mike Dooley event here in Orlando. It was his first live event since pre-COVID, and it was just marvelous and magical, and just what a gift to be part of that. And you know, one of the things he was working with a woman named Jessie who channels an intelligence called Vagrian, and they were talking about, and I loved so many things that Vagrian had to share, but one of the things that was said was the cow in the field is not worried about how to make its spots more something so the other cows will think well of it. And I just thought, yeah, we need to know that. We absolutely need to know that, because the tiger is not afraid of anybody else. The tiger steps with giant paws. If you've ever seen a tiger, magnificent animals, they step with giant paws, but they are so silent as they pad around, and they don't have any fear. They just are. They just go forward, and they trust that whatever it is that they need, they're going to be able to find it or receive it, or it's going to be presented, right? Because they have this sharp hearing, and they have these sharp reflexes, and they're trusting that everything that they need is available to them around them, and that they have the ability to discern it and to go achieve it and receive it. Okay, so remember, the first people that we lead is ourselves, right? But there was so much in this from Vagrian talking about staying in our lane and not worrying about trying to be appealing or pleasing to somebody else. Just do you, be you. And so with the tiger, and with Raziel talking about, look inside of what it is that you would like to share. Now, please don't get it twisted. When we start talking about leadership, it does not mean you need a podcast. It does not mean you need to grab a microphone and a soapbox and start getting out there. It does not mean that you need to start anything except sharing what's important to you. When we talk about leadership, we talk about what is it that is important to us that we would want someone else to know. Because the first people we lead is ourselves, and the next people we lead is anybody else who aligns with that, okay? So sharing with a leadership can literally be one person. And there is a YouTube video, now I haven't seen it in a long time, but I love this YouTube video. It talks about how you build a following, and I think it was something that, what is his name? It's not Malcolm Gladwell. It's the other one who's such a wonderful young guy thought leader who I can't think of his name right now. But it was a video, and I feel like it was something that he shared or have somehow as associated. But it's this video, and I believe it's called How to Build a Following. And it's an outdoor concert at a concert, it's a field. And there's, this guy is enjoying the music, and he's, just starts dancing. And he doesn't care who's paying attention or dancing with him. And some other people are like, hey, he's dancing. I'm going to come and dance with him. And now you've got 2 or 3 people dancing. And then some other people are going, well, that kind of looks like fun. And they start dancing, right? And then all of a sudden, this guy's got 50 people who are dancing with him. Now, was that his intention? No. His intention was to share what he was enjoying and what was being important to him, and the other people who aligned with that and who vibed with that and who were in that vibration caught and noticed, and they said, hey, I noticed this, I'm attracted to this, I want to be part of it, and they came over and danced too. Okay, so I was at a different event last weekend and with some friends, and we were sitting at the state park where I volunteer to protect manatees, and we were all listening to the speaker. And another woman who was sitting behind me and on the other side of the area noticed that the woman who was sitting in front of me, like 2 rows in front of me and a little off to the left, had this black hoodie on, and on her back was crawling no, don't panic, it was okay, a stick bug. And the stick bug was like beige, okay? It wasn't a spider. It kind of looked a little spidery, but it was like a baby stick bug. Okay, so it was only about this big, and it was crawling with its little legs up on her back, and nobody noticed it except the woman all the way on the other side of the room, 2 rows back. And she couldn't take it anymore. She walked up and she said to the woman, just whispered, there's a bug on your back, I'm gonna get it. And she put it And she just very gently swept it and put it on the floor. Okay. Now, the hilarious part was about half an hour, no, not that much, maybe 10 minutes later, this thing started crawling up her back again. I mean, it was hilarious. Something about her, that bug was really vibing with. But it was not in my awareness. I didn't even notice it. Both times, somebody had to point it out to me, hey, the bug is back. I didn't even notice. It was not in my awareness. It was not in my vibe. But the thing that was, the speaker was saying when they said something that was correct or incorrect or needed to be augmented, something like that was in my vibe. So we don't notice those things that are not for us. Like if your friend buys a new car and you're like, what kind of car is that? And then you see that car everywhere, right? We don't notice things that are not for us because they're not for us. We notice the things that are with us, that are for us, that are for our vibration, that align with our vibration. There's a saying that says, what is for you will not go past you. And so when you have this call to look a little deeper and to share your leadership, this is not a thing to be afraid of. This is not a thing to be like, oh, I need to stand up in front of a crowd. No, this is, what is it that is important to you that you can share with one person? And if they vibe with it, great, they'll come along for the ride and they'll tell, those commercials, and she told two friends, and she told two friends, and she told two friends, right? And it's just about sharing what is important to you. It is not about, standing up in front of the whole auditorium, okay? So I feel like I really feel pulled to say this because I feel like when we get folks who are called to leadership, and if you're here and you're paying attention, you're called to something. You wouldn't be here otherwise. You are being called to this vibration. You are vibing with my vibration, with what I'm sharing, and with what they're sharing, and what is asked, they're asking to be shared through me. And so we're not asked or demanded, humans have free will, to jump up and, lead the caucus. We're asked to share. Okay, so keep in mind this. And I know our Chris Jett is not feeling super well today, so I know she's not here today because she would know the answer to this question of this guy who is the thought. He's a young thought leader, and I cannot think of his name. It's going to bug me, and I know somebody would know it. He's a young guy, and he makes these great videos, and I can't think of his name, but I feel like that's where I saw the time I saw this video about how to build a following. But if you look on YouTube, you can see this video of the guy dancing and how to build a following. It's a really well done, very brilliant. So, okay. Let's look also at, we are in the Jewish holiday of Passover right now, which is a little bit, if you've seen the movie The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston or any millions of other remakes, or the Prince of Egypt for our cartoon-oriented friends, of which I am one, and it is the story that kind of leads up into where they believe the Seder, the Last Supper was the Seder, and so we have not in the same timeline, of course, but let's pick a couple of our Hebrew cards, our Hebrew, Arabic, and English cards. So we have friendship, Chaverot. Okay, friendship is Chavarim, Chavarot, Chaver, friendship. I cannot say it in Arabic. I don't know how to read that. But we have friendship. And again, the first person we lead is ourselves. The first place we are a friend is to ourselves. And then we have inspiration. Hashra. I don't know that that's. But the other one that kind of, I grabbed three is luck, which is mazel. So mazel, you might be familiar with mazel tov, good luck, or celebrating. We say mazel tov is really kind of congratulations. We say that someone is having good luck, mazel tov. So, all right. So friendship, luck, and inspiration. Okay, so these are really an alignment with looking at our leadership, looking a little deeper at what's wanting to come through for us. And remember, in that full moon time of what is what is off balance for me? Where can I bring more balance? Okay, where can I bring more balance? All right. So we'll do our cards that are for the collective, and then we'll see about some cards for the individuals. All right. All right. Oh, that is going to bother me. We're going to let it go, but I'm going to find out who that person is, this thought leader that I cannot think of, and I'm going to, I will post it, okay? All right, so this is blessed. I love that. So our first card, what do we need to know for this week while we are going forward, is even in the midst of chaos is the reminder that we are blessed. We are blessed. We are very lucky. We are blessed, and it is up to us to look for the blessings. Because if you look, she's got her prayer hands going. She's sitting in her shell. She's in the meditation position. She is flying through the air. She is only facing forward. She is not worried about what's behind her. And she is praying and staying in that place of gratitude for what we already have, And this is card 22. So 2 and 2 is 4. You know how much I love 4. 4 legs of the chair or table. That is the support. We are not alone. 4 is a collaborative number with the universe. It tells us that our angels and guides are with us. They are supporting us, holding us up literally. So we have blessed. Okay, so then we have, so the first thing to remember is as we are looking at stepping out into leadership, because the Tiger card reminds us, Hashira, thank you. The Tiger card reminds us that we are capable and that we can step out, we can step quietly, but we can step firmly and step out into leadership, right? But we are also asked with Raziel to have discernment. And so the blessed card says the first place we look is within, right? So what's going on with us? How are we blessed? What can we share? Because one of the best things that we can share now, this is a choice. We can choose, are we going to share? Okay, we lower our own vibration. We lower the vibration of those who are participating in that and the vibration of those who are taking that with them, okay? Or we can say, ba 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 ba, and we raise our vibration, okay? And we raise the vibration of those who are around us and the vibration of those who would share with us, okay? And so this is a choice of what is it that we want to share. So when we start, immediately thinking of like, well, what is it I want to share? What is, important to me to speak of in this moment? Are we speaking low or are we speaking high? Where is your vibration? Where do you want to be? Even for things that you may be unhappy about, we can still speak high and be high in our vibration. I don't like this, so what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do? How am I going to support? How am I going to step in and try and raise this vibration to make things to be a different way? Or, and both, okay? Is this something that I even have the power to get involved in? Because there are things that are going on in our world right now. We do not have, the individual does not have the power, I don't have the power to fix a lot of these things. So the best thing that I can do, that we can do, is send love to the situation and raise the vibration. And if enough people are doing that, then the energy around it literally can shift. Okay. All right. So then we have all that glitters, but all that glitters is coming in upside down. And so this is 16. So that's 7. 7 is that change in direction number. We talked a lot about that last week. But all that glitters reminds us not to be blinded by leadership and the stage, but it also reminds us to not be blinded by sweet talk. People who are like, oh, I'm totally on board. I'm going to follow you everywhere. I'm going to go with you. Okay, use your discernment, okay? So we're not handing our responsibility over to someone else. And somebody says, I can do all of that for you. Okay, Mary Kay always used to say, inspect what you expect. And so if you have a collaborator and you want to work with somebody and you say, okay, this is going to be great, look how beautiful and shiny it is, make sure you're keeping your eye on that ball. Make sure that you are in collaboration and not in surrender, okay? So that you are keeping if you want to bring a partner in, if you are working in collaboration, I love collaboration, make sure that you're on the same page. And if it is not working out, then we have this leadership again where we say, this isn't working for me, and it is not personal, but this situation is not working for me, and I'm going to go in a different direction, and I really appreciate this collaboration, but I'm going to put a pause on this until I figure out what I want to do. Okay? We have to own our space. We get to lead. Again, we lead ourselves first. We get to own our space. That is a choice. Okay? All right. And then the last card for the collective is why. This also comes in upside down, but this is 31, card 31. It's so 3 and 1 is 4, and we already talked about 4. But the card of why. Why? Do you know? So when I say to you, we're at the top of the circle here with the full moon, and where are you out of balance? Do you know why you're out of balance? Do you know why your intention you set for this new moon cycle that we're halfway through? What was that intention? Why was that important to you? What is it where are you going, and why is that important? It is so important that we understand where are you going, because if you don't know, I don't know. How are you supposed to tell anybody else if you don't know? If you don't know, I don't. Like, we got to know where we're going. What are we trying to create? What are we trying to bring in? What is our next best step? And if we don't know, and we have to know why, Why is that important? I know the projects I'm working on right now, I know why they're important to me. They spur my heart. They make me want to get in here and roll up my sleeves and get on it, okay? Because they spur my heart, because I know the blessings they're going to be able to bring to other people. Okay, so that's the why. I want to create this. I want to finish this. I want to get it out in the world so that it's there. So it's one, so it's done. I can move on to something else. But two, so that it's out in the world so I can bless other people. We keep these great ideas to ourselves. We are not blessing anybody. Okay, Mary Kay would always say, if I have an idea, a great idea, and you have a great idea, and we keep them to ourselves, we have one. But if we share them, we both have two. Okay. It is very, very worth it to share your ideas. And remember, you don't have to like grab a megaphone and share it with the whole football stadium. You can just share it with one person, because that's how we start to build a following. We build and we lead one person at a time, starting with ourselves. So knowing why, and if we're not knowing why, we can't really go forward in an honest way and an authentic way. We may be going along because of someone else's why. We may be carried on a manipulative whim. We may be carried by somebody who is, trying to get us to do something. Okay, but knowing why, having our why, we've got to clean our motives. We've got to have pure motives so that we are operating from this place of authenticity within ourselves. Okay, all right, so just to recap, hi Stacy, we're not quite ready for that part of it, but thank you so much for being there. Hang in there with me just for another minute. We're almost ready for individual card readings. So let's just recap. It is a beautiful day. So we have Raziel, who is with us, who is helping us to look into ourselves and do that self-examination that we want to do in this full moon time, right? Before it's over, we've got a few more minutes, right? A couple more hours in this full moon time of where am I out of balance? Where are my priorities not in alignment with myself or what my goal is? So Raziel is saying, hey, don't let this time go by. No worries, no worries, no worries. Don't let this time go by without getting clarity with self about where am I going and am I actually headed in that right direction? Okay, the tiger reminds us that we have leadership capabilities inside of us, but tigers are very solitary, right? The first person that we lead, the first critter that we lead is ourselves, right? So this is about stepping up and saying, what is it that's important to me to share with some person, one person, some person? And knowing that my vibration as I am vibing is going to be in alignment with somebody, and they're going to choose to come along, and if they don't, that's okay. They're going to find where they're vibing, and I'm going to find, the people who are going to vibe with me are going to find me, okay? And so that we're moving forward in that way. And so then we are asked, what else do we need to know about moving forward in this week? So the Tiger and Raziel are who are, as I say, in our office management team this week. Who's in charge this week? Who's helping with our angels and our guides and our loved ones in spirit? Who's helping us to coordinate all the things this week? So we have the Tiger, we have Raziel, right? And then as we are moving forward this week, remembering to stay in that place of love and gratitude first and foremost, stay in the place of loving ourselves, trusting the universe, and moving ourselves forward. Remember, the cows are not looking around going, well, if my spots were more like that cow, the other cows would like me more. They're not, okay? Remembering that all that glitters as we move in collaboration or we're making assessments, that we are not being blinded by fancy words or fancy promises, that we are looking for the deeper connections, we're looking for those deeper meanings in anything. We are always asking ourselves, is this working for me? Is this in alignment with my vibe? I'm not changing my vibe for somebody else so that I can match up with their glitter. Okay? Is this in alignment with my vibe? Is this going in my direction? Is this taking me closer to myself, to the light, to my goal, to my family? Okay? If the answers are no, we got to shift. And it's okay for us to be able to say, hey, this is not working for me, and we're going to just put a pause on this right now while I figure out my next steps. And so when we have the why card, which remember was upside down, it says we got to know why. Why are we going in the direction that we're going? Why are we creating what we're creating? What is it that we are moving towards? Why? If you are not quite sure where you're going and why, it is very hard to put that into the spiritual universal GPS. Okay? I know I was going to Winter Garden this morning to meet my sister because I felt like a niggle from the universe that said this is an event that's going to be important for you to be at. And it actually really was. Okay, so I put that in the GPS. I knew why I was going. I knew what my purpose was. My original purpose was to support certain people who were there. That became an underlying purpose that was still important. But following, where are you going and why? Okay, getting clear about yourself. And then so in our Hebrew, English, and Arabic cards, we have luck, mazal. We have friendship, haverot, And then we have inspiration, Hashra. Okay, I hope I'm saying that right, Susan, Sharon. That was the only one I couldn't quite get. Although I did add Hebrew to my Duolingo, so now I'm doing Duolingo with Spanish and Hebrew, which has just been a lot of fun. All right, you got to get a Hebrew keyboard in your phone, which is quite the adventure. All right, now, are we ready? I think that we are. We're going to do some individual card readings. So now, if you are ready and wanting a card reading for yourself, this is the time to put it in the comments one time, please, only one time. Put it in the comments to say, me, I would like a card reading, something that gets my attention. Only please put it in one time because there is only so many space I can see the comments, and if you put it in 6 times, you push other people out of the way, and I can't get to see them. So we'll just do, and we go in one in the order that the comments are on my side. They may not be the same order that they are on your side, so please don't panic. We really try to make sure we don't miss anybody. So, all right, we're gonna get with Kimmy, I think was first. Stacy's thinking Kimmy. Now, remember, you don't have to tell me your question. You just think about what your question is. The cards are going to know, okay? So, Kimmy, this is upside down. This is not for you, okay? I love the colors on this card, but this is upside down. This is not for you. Now, this is card number 6, okay? 6 upside down is 9, so it's like, oh, am I at the end of this journey? Am I where I'm supposed to be? Okay, but this says what it is that you want. That is meant for you is not going to go past you. And I even think I said that earlier today, right? So what is for you is not going to go past you. So if it's important that you are not trying to grab onto something that's not for you. Now, Kimmy, look, because we have this, okay, you can see the face of potential and possibility and creation is here in the picture frame, right? And for you. And here you have the fortune cookie. We have all this beautiful possibilities on the other side, and we have the beautiful hand of the universe, the hand of guidance is holding you up. So what is for you is not going to go past you. And we have the beautiful, this is the chessboard. So you're not going to make a wrong move, okay? So we don't want to feel like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Okay, just don't worry about it. What is for you is going to be for you. And you don't have to be, like, if you look at something and say, is this the right move? And you don't feel like I'm pushed in that direction, then it's not. Okay, so we really want to trust that intuition. We hear that so often, and we see that in those cards that come up with 4s, right? The universe is saying, we're with you. So can we trust your intuition and try not to reach for something just because it's shiny or it's convenient or because it's there? Ask yourself, is this the thing that is really in alignment? Which goes right back to the card, the why card, right? So ask yourself, is this really in my alignment for my highest and best good? Is this true to really what I want? Is it bringing it closer to my heart, my goal, my source of light and all that is, my family? If the answers are not yes, then it's not for you. And trust that the thing that is for you is coming, okay? Is coming. All right, Kimmy says it all the time. Awesome, awesome. Then you're on the right track. So take this as a confirmation that you are using your discernment and your discretion in the right way, and just know that it's important that you stay the course. Okay, don't give up who you are and what you've been building in your universal truth and your trust of the universe. Don't give it up. You're on the right track, so follow that. Okay, take that as a confirmation. Ellen Jane, upside down also. A lot of upside down cards we've seen in the last couple of weeks, right? We want to make sure people are getting this is a time of growth. It's a time of expansion. It's a time of really like understanding the universe and the world in a different way. So we're seeing a lot of upside down cards. It does not mean we're on the wrong track. It means that we are growing and that the universe is asking us to look at things from a different perspective, okay? So this is for Ellen, this is between two worlds. So Ellen, this is card 3. Now, you know I love 3, right? Because it's like the butterfly wing that you can only kind of see it from one side, and you look a little closer and it opens up and you've got this you know, bigger power, and okay, so like angel wings, butterfly wings. But so Ellen, this is talking about coming out of the place that's darker, that's a black and white, that things are black and white, and where we have no gray, where no negotiation, no willingness or ability to see things from a different perspective, and we're stepping forward, we're going forward, okay? The flamingo's not going backwards, the flamingo's going forward into the light, forward into the color, forward into possibilities. Okay, so Ellen, this is talking about leaving the past in the behind, letting go of the things you cannot change. When it's black and white, we can't change it. We can't get people to see it from another way. We're going past it. We're moving forward. And so Ellen, just allow that you're stepping into new possibilities and being open, right? That 3, open to what else is available to you. So this is also about zooming out a little bit to say, hey, how can I see this from a different perspective? Okay, just allowing yourself that time of growth, keeping in mind also growth is not always the most comfortable, and that is okay, knowing that this is all moving you forward in the right direction for your highest good. Okay, all right, so we have Stephen. All right, Stephen, upside down, also 52, so that's 7. Interesting, because you had a 7 card last week, didn't you? So 7, right? Change in direction, but this is upside down, this is mending. Okay, so this is upside down, this is mending. Okay, this is about bringing peace. We need to have peace in the land, peace in your heart, peace in your mind, okay? And I know we talked about last week about being exactly where you are, because that's where you are and that's where you're supposed to be. But this is about making sure that you're having peace, that you are also not going for something that's not for you, but that you are not sacrificing to have that you are not bending to please others, okay, but that we are mending to create peace. And sometimes we need to create peace for ourselves, whether who's right, who's wrong, it doesn't matter. That's not what we're talking about. It's because we are creating peace for ourselves, okay? So this mending card comes in upside down, and it reminds us that we're not allowing others to disrupt our lives. We are putting things in the right way that will create peace for us, okay? So really very interesting card, especially for our recent conversations, very much as confirmations, I would imagine. So Sharon, we have Sharon next. So Sharon, this is, a right side up card. This is TikTok. This is 30, which is 3, right? And we just talked about 3 opening up like that. So Sharon, this is TikTok. And so this is reminding you that we don't need to worry so much about watching the clock. We don't need to worry about like hitting little milestone things, just allowing things to flow, okay? So we're releasing our need to control things. We're just allowing that what is coming to us, we're trusting the vibrations, we're trusting where we're being led, we're trusting that things are the way they are in perfect order, okay, in perfect alignment. So Sharon, this is, it reminds us to like not be watching the clock on the wall, and you can see that it's like breaking forward, right? Let it go. We're not going to hold on to this anymore. We're not trying to catch it. It's like when we're just trying to let it, because this is like bursting forward, okay? So Sharon, this is about allowing the things to continue to evolve. Time is artificial, and that we have everything evolving exactly the way it's supposed to be going. We may or may not like it, but everything is evolving exactly the way it's supposed to be going, okay? So a little confirmation for you as well. All right, hello Maribel, welcome, welcome. All right, so we've got a card for you as well. Okay, Maribel, this is another right side up card. That's always good. So Maribel, this is card 29. So 9 and 2 is 11, and 11 is the soul number, the twin number, right? But 11, 1 and 1 is 2. This is a new journey for you, a new adventure, a new chapter is unfolding for you. But this card is the breathe card, which reminds you to just, again, like I just had shared with Sharon, to allow things to unfold, to allow things to expand, and to trust that the universe is working on your behalf as you step into this new world. It is a time of expansion for you, Maribel, as if you are learning more about yourself, that you are learning more about how the world is functioning in a spiritual way, and that you are stepping more into the truth of who you came here to be. So breathe card is a lot about allowing and letting things play out, and just trusting that the universe is moving you forward and moving the pieces around for your highest and best good, okay? All right, we have Beth Boyd. Okay, hang on a second. I need a drink. All right. I'm talking so fast. All right, we have Beth Boyd. And, all right, Beth. So this is upside down. This is 46. This is regeneration. So 4 and 6 is 10. So that's the end of the... Maribel says it's the 29th is her birthday, and everything is all true. That's fantastic. We love that. All right, we love that. All right, so Beth, this is 46, which is 10, which is 1, which is a new adventure, a new chapter for you as well. But this is regeneration, and it comes in upside down. When we look at regeneration, we start to think about the phoenix rising from the ashes, and oh my God, everything is falling apart, it's being destroyed, and we say no, things are being rebirthed, reborn. It's spring, that things are coming out, and so we are allowing the expansion. Again, that expansion, we're allowing this rebirth. So Beth, it's a new chapter for you. It's a new adventure, and knowing that we are going to have this rebirth, this positive, this beautiful things that are going to rise up from the ashes. I had the privilege of going to Oregon and Washington State a few years ago for a dear friend's wedding, and my husband and I went on this incredible hike out by Multnomah Falls. It's a big 5-mile hike. You go up 1,600 feet, and then you come down even more because of the way the mountain is shaped. and it was just hours, and it was really magnificent. And we literally watched the landscape change as we went up the mountain. And there was a part where we had come into the place of fire, where there had been a fire in the forest, and now you could see the rebirth. And it was magnificent to see this rebirth, because even though you could see the trees were burned and they did not necessarily have growth at the top, and some of them did, still the fire didn't get up high enough to burn the tops of the trees, and you could see the fire line along the trees, but the ground cover and the new trees that were sprouting from this was exponentially more than what had been there before. So when we get the regeneration card and we think, oh my God, it's burning it all down, we say, yes, that we are restructuring here, but we're restructuring for a massive explosion of growth. Okay, so Beth, this is a beautiful card for you. This is a beautiful card for anybody, okay? But we look at these cards and we go, oh no, it's fire and brimstone, and we immediately think it's bad. And I just think this is a time of really of growth and expansion. All right, so we have Belinda and then Tracy. All right, so Belinda. So upside down again, this is chaos and conflict, so 33. So 3 and 3 is 6. But upside down, so 6 upside down is 9. So we want to think about, are we going in the right direction? And do I need to close this chapter sooner, right? But this is chaos and conflicts. And so we have, again, 33, 3 and 3 is 6, but this card is upside down. So is the 6 a 9, Belinda, that says we're having too much chaos and conflict and I need to end this chapter. I need to close the book on this because there's just too much that's going on here. And so the chaos and conflict card, especially when it's upside down, we're talking about it is time for a change. It is time to be able to say, you know what? I got to walk away from this. This is the end of that chapter. I'm going to close this door and we are going to move in a new direction. Okay, so this is talking about there is maybe a new direction that is needed for you for Belinda. Okay, and so this is really important. The other part about this, Belinda, is that this change, this shift is already happening. So you want to just know that it's happening for your highest good, of course. Okay, so that was for Belinda. Tracy and Stacy. Oh, and Steven says big ol' yes. Okay, great. All right, we've got Sharon, thank you. Maribel, yes, 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 absolutely, absolutely. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Happy early birthday, Maribel. And all right, we've got Tracy and Stacy. All right, so we've got, oops. All right, Tracy. Oh, a jumper, Tracy. So this is the exchanging gifts cards. This is 27. So 2 and 7 is 9. Okay, so again, might be the end of a chapter. But exchanging gifts, and this is right side up. So exchanging gifts, this is a really beautiful card because this reminds you that you have gifts to give, but it also reminds us that we have gifts to receive. And are we willing to receive? Are we open to receiving from the universe? And so the exchanging gifts cards reminds us that we are in collaboration with the divine. We're in collaboration with each other. And that we don't have to carry it all ourselves, that we can expand exponentially and have blessing exponentially when we are willing to work in collaboration. Now, remember the All That Glitters card we had before about collaboration. We want to make sure that the collaboration is authentic. It is not self-serving. It is a blend, right? Things are coming together like this. There's not somebody who's trying to be in control, okay? So this is a beautiful card for Tracy, of reminding you that you are worthy of receiving gifts. You are worthy of receiving help, receiving collaboration, and that what you have to offer, the gifts that you are bringing to the table, are very, very worthy of the table and are wanted out in the world as well. So this is Tracy. And then we will give for Stacy. For Stacy. All right, Stacy, also right side up, this is Observer card. Now this is 49. So 9 is 13, 1 and 3, 4. Okay, right? 49. 10, 11, 12, 13, yes, 1 and 3, 4. Okay, so this is a 4 card, so Stacy, so this is the Observer card. Now the Observer card right side up reminds you to get, to not get so much in your head, okay? And so again, 4, we have that support mechanism there, but it reminds you to pay attention, to watch, and to allow, again, allowing things to play out, to not butt ourselves into everything like, oh, I know what to do, okay, let other people do, let people have a turn, let the other kids play, so that we are not inadvertently depriving someone else of their experience and opportunity to grow because we jumped in to fix it and do it for them. We want to say, okay, let me just take a beat. let me just see how this plays out. And if there's somebody who's asking for help, exchanging those gifts, we're going to be able to step in with some assistance. Now, the other part about the observer card is that we don't want to try and go in there and take over the situation. My husband and I are both strong personalities. We're both leaders in our fields, and we do sometimes stomp on each other inadvertently, and I do sometimes have to say to him, hey, I don't work for you. And that's because we used to, many years ago, we did work together, and I had worked for him sometimes and he did work for me. And so he'll kind of get into a place of what we call gig mode, where he works in live television, where stuff's got to happen really fast. And he'd get in there and be like, I'm like, whoa, 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 okay? So in order to facilitate a smoothing of that, so we weren't fighting about stuff all the time, we created something called first parent on the scene. So if something was going on with our kids or something was going on, if you were the first parent on the scene and you got there first, you got to handle the situation, whether we agreed, the other one agreed with how you were doing it or not. We allowed that to play out, and then we would talk about it afterwards together. And if we needed to make some adjustments, we'd go back to the kid or the situation and say, hey, we were talking about this and this is how we are. You know, this is where we go. So this is really talking about, Stacey, you know, to let things play out and to see who is the first parent on the scene, because right now it might not be you. Okay. All right. So hi. All right. So we're going to do one more card. We always do one at the end that is the kind of wrap it all up card for everyone to bring it all together. And ready? The Fates. I love the Fates, right? Because that just reminds us we're not alone. I mean, we're here. They're here with us, right? The Fates. So this is card 17. Now, 17, 1 and 7 is 8. We love this because 8 is infinity, right? 8 is the infinity. We're always in collaboration with the divine. We're always working with them. They're always trying to work with us. They're always trying to say, we are here, we are here. And so this is just a real collaboration that as we are stepping out in this back half of the moon cycle, that we are not alone, that we are asking ourselves, where are we going? Where are we out of balance? How can we bring ourselves more into alignment to really move forward towards our intended goal for this moon cycle? What was it we're trying to create or manifest or accomplish or whatever in this moon cycle? And know that we are in collaboration with the divine always. And I love that. That is a beautiful place to end, because as you know, I always try to end our time together by saying, to remind you how very much you are loved. And they're showing us, we are here, we've got you, we're working with you, we're trying to collaborate with you, okay? So, there will not be, hear me out, no live next week, okay? No live next week. I'm going to be in New York City for some other stuff. No live next week, and we will get back the following week. Also, the next week is Easter, so it would be the Monday after Easter. So this way, I hope you all, if you are observing Passover this week, I hope you have a beautiful and wonderful holiday filled with lots of crunchy things. And if you are celebrating Easter next week, I hope you have a beautiful and wonderful celebration, whatever it is that you're doing. I hope you do it with people who bring love to the table, and that you, as always, are staying in the light, staying in the vibration, that you are sharing love and blessing with others. Always remember how very much you are loved. Thank you very much. We'll see you in 2 weeks.